What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and you know what? I gotta say that covering this Britney Spears story has been a really unique experience for me. Covering true crime stories, it's always like when the killer gets caught or the missing child gets found, it's like those stories start winding down. But when it comes to the Britney Spears story, it's the story that just keeps on giving. We've gone through so many twists and turns. There's always new things that throw us for a loop. My opinions change, my theories change over time. And I mean, over the course of the last, I don't know how many months since I've been covering this story, we have seen and heard and read a lot. This story has gone all over the place. But what I want to talk about today is how Britney Spears or Britney Spears' team, they gaslight you, and even me. They're constantly gaslighting all of us. And here's what I mean by that. I've been covering this story long enough to notice patterns. And when it comes to the Britney Spears story, it's always like we get thrown through all of this crazy madness. I'm talking wild Instagram posts that are all over the place. We hear stories from TMZ about Britney Spears tripping out at restaurants. It's always this buildup of craziness. And then there's like a couple of days of quietness. And then here comes Britney Spears. She'll come back to gaslight everyone. To make everyone feel bad about the questions they've been asking. To make everyone feel weird for even thinking that something may be wrong with Britney. They do this time in and time out. You'll see all of these posts on Britney's Instagram, and I mean the captions will be so utterly bizarre that you in your right mind couldn't even begin to fathom that someone in their right mind would type this. I mean, Britney Spears would be like, "Kiss my butt, we're on the way to Mars, and I really like the weather on Mars, this red planet. And yeah, champagne's great, but I can't drink champagne. I hope my dad burns in hell forever." Right? You'll see posts like that, and you're just like, what in the heck is going on? You'll see posts talking about, to hell with my kids. I don't care how they feel about my naked post. And she'll rip her tits out. And you'll just see all this crazy stuff going on. And then you'll start getting worried. Hey, something's going on with Britney. Something must be going on with Britney. And then her Instagram gets deleted. There's some calmness for a couple of days. And then she returns with the victimhood. The woe is me. Why have you all been questioning what I have been doing? And it's weird how you'll get all this craziness, but then out of nowhere, Britney Spears is somehow able to type a paragraph that you can actually read. She all of a sudden can show, oh, here's me at a different location. I'm not in my house anymore. It's so weird the way they gaslight everyone, and that is what is happening right here. The other day, Britney Spears was posting on Twitter talking about why she deleted her Instagram, and I just noticed how odd it was that all of a sudden you can understand Britney. For months now, it's been wild craziness like usual, but then out of nowhere, there'll be this moment of clarity like, hey everyone, why have you been so harsh on me? Why have you been questioning me, calling my dance moves crazy? It's so sickening to me, but let's go ahead and see what Britney has to say. Yep, that's me. I'm alive and well, but not really convinced on these health juices. I mean, there are so many. Yoga and chest call me in. I do it inside, outside, wherever I fancy. This is me at a gym living my best life. I shut down my Instagram because there were too many people saying I looked like an idiot dancing and that I looked crazy. Honestly, I was doing my best, but it disturbed me to see people freely talk about it on TV. Yep, it hurt my feelings. Okay. I'm sorry for laughing. You know what? I'm not sorry for laughing. Because, yeah, Britney Spears has been looking utterly and absolutely ridiculous for months now with those dance moves. But I'm not buying this, oh, I deleted it because people were being mean. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're following Britney Spears, you know that the comments have been turned off long ago. Yeah, people were making fun of her dance moves because you should, because they look totally asinine. So yeah, people were making fun of the dance moves, but that was months ago. The comments have been turned off. So here she is. She's gaslighting the normies. She's gaslighting you, but she's also making the normies feel as if there's something else going on here, because the regular people, they don't see all the crazy stuff going down on Britney's account. Okay? But they see things like this. And they would think, oh, why are you being mean to Britney and her dance moves? Have you seen them? Have you seen them? Have you seen how she looks when she does her dance moves? And let's not even talk about the fact that sometimes this woman is boo-hoo crying, breaking down crying while, oh God, Britney, I'm hurting. And it's like, and then you're like, oh my God, something's wrong with Britney. And then she's like, shame on you. Shame on you for thinking something's wrong. And you're just like, dude, you've been sitting here complaining about your life, complaining about your parents, complaining about everything while doing erratic hand gestures for 6 months. Of course we're worried. But let's go ahead and go back in. But yeah, people were saying my dance moves made me look crazy. They do make you look crazy, but people have not been saying that lately because they don't have the opportunity to, because the comment section has been turned off for a while now. But let's go forward. I'm sensitive, and honestly, I would rather take a break and do my ice cream diet anyway. I know I thought it was a joke too, but it's not. It works surprisingly enough. I mean, damn, come on. 3 girls at a restaurant came up to me yesterday so drunk and loud and sat right beside me with that gross smell of alcohol and got right in my face. Reminded me of my wedding. I was traumatized. All right. Gotta pause again. Because when we point out that there was something weird about Britney's wedding, Britney Spears fans attack us. But once again, for like, what is this, like the 20th, 30th time now? Britney Spears is throwing shade at her own wedding, throwing shade at her own wedding guests, because in reality, she didn't invite them. And in reality, this whole wedding is kind of weird, and Britney notices it. Britney knows that this whole wedding was weird. She talks about it more than we do. So I really want to know what really went down with that wedding. But let's go forward. This time I said, please get the F away from me. Yes, it's Britney, bitch. I woke up and spoke up for myself. Can you believe it? Honestly, I couldn't either. So with that said, please, again, no. I am the best I can. I am the best I can. I'm alive, fine, healthy, and ready to start a new day. A new morning and anew. To my real fans, God bless you. And of course, the Yes Queens were like, yes, Britney, yes. Well put. They need to stop making fun of your dance moves. And then they don't even stop to realize that, hey, who do you think those 3 people were that went and sat next to Britney? Those were probably fans. Those were probably fans like you all, Yas Queens. Because if I see Britney in public, I'm not even going to speak to her. I'm not someone that's like that obsessed over celebrities. Don't get me wrong, it's cool to meet a celebrity. You know, I mean, I wouldn't turn down a chance to meet certain celebrities necessarily, but if Britney was eating at a restaurant, I wouldn't go sit next to her. But the Yas Queen fans definitely would. And here we have an instance where Britney's like, yeah, 3 people came and sat next to me and I told them, yes, it's Britney, bitch, get the fuck away from me. And people are like, yes, Britney, yes. No, that's totally rude. How would you feel as a Britney Spears fan? Some of you all have dedicated your lives to this woman. How would you all feel if you got that one opportunity to see her? That one opportunity. And you go up to her, happy that you're finally seeing Britney Spears, and she says, yes, it's Britney, bitch. Get the fuck away from me right now. You would be devastated. So how do you think these women feel? That's the reality of this situation. It's just Britney Spears bragging about being ugly and mean towards people, which is what she does all the time. And that's why I don't necessarily support this woman like everyone else does, because in reality, from everything I've seen over the last however many months, it's that she gets really mean and ugly with people. And then when she gets that type of treatment back, she plays the victim. She's a throw rocks and hide their hands type of person. And that's why I say Britney Spears and her team are gaslighting all of you. Notice one thing about everything I just read. Everything I just read was way easier to understand than any of Britney's posts over the last 6 months. And this is what always happens. There's always these wild posts that no one could put together, no one could understand, and then all of a sudden, once the craziness, let me rephrase that. Once people start noticing the craziness and they start talking about it, she disappears for a couple of days and then gaslights you all, or her team gaslights you all. Now all of a sudden we can understand what she's saying in her posts. All of a sudden. And, oh, I'm okay, everyone. Why would you think anything's wrong? Because you literally say that there are things wrong and you put it on public display every day, boo-hoo crying while spinning in circles, talking about your mom, talking about your dad. You send shots at your husband. You attack other people in the industry. And then when people finally have enough of it and they start talking about it, you disappear for a couple of days. You delete your Instagram. You come back and gaslight everyone like they're bad for thinking there's something wrong. They're bad for thinking your dance moves are horrible. They're bad for thinking you may be crazy when you act crazy 24/7. So that's what I'm talking about here. It's sickening to me because I've seen this happen roughly around 5 or 6 times now. And if you follow the story long enough, you already know the trend. This always happens. It's like the craziness, it gets really amplified. And when the craziness gets amplified, of course, people are amplified talking about it. So once it's like there's this momentum that gets built up. It's like a momentum that gets built up from crazy posts on Britney's Instagram. And then people start talking about it more and more and more. And then they gaslight you all like you're a bad person for talking about it. They try to show you Britney Spears in a normal setting. They try to give you a couple of normal posts. And then people back off like, okay, sorry. We were wrong. We're crazy for thinking there may be something wrong with Britney. People back off. And then within a couple of weeks, the momentum starts again. The crazy momentum starts again. And then when it reaches ahead, like how it reached ahead at that restaurant that TMZ reported on, some people don't want to believe that situation happened. In my opinion, I believe it happened because, it seems like the most likely outcome, the most likely scenario that I could think of. If this really is Britney, which I'm open to the possibility that it's not, if this really is Britney doing all of this wild stuff, then why would you think that she could function in a restaurant surrounded by tons of people? She could barely function in her own living room in these weird outfits while spinning in circles. What makes you think she could go to a public place and function normally? So of course I believe that Britney could have had a little episode at that restaurant. And then all of the stories that came out, none of them aligned with each other. So I don't believe none of that nonsense. But that's where the craziness came to a head in this current situation. And then, of course, she's going to come out, gaslight everyone. She'll act normal and things will be normal for a couple of weeks. Right now, I can already tell that we're about to get to that point where things are going to start ramping up again with her. And like I said, it's just, I don't know if it's her and her condition. And, she goes through these streaks where she's really all out there, and then she has moments of clarity in her own mind, so everything gets more peaceful, or if this is just a process that they have learned to use to put her fans through. Because a lot of me believes now, like where I'm at currently, a lot of me believes that Britney Spears or Britney Spears' team, or possibly both, I think some of them kind of work together in a way to do this weird stuff because it's what is keeping people focused on Britney. If Britney acted normal for the next 6 months, year, 2 years, no one would even care anymore. Everyone would move on with their lives, talk about other things. Britney Spears possibly going through something crazy or possibly being crazy is what is keeping her relevant. So I wonder sometimes if her team or someone is crafting these scenarios in order to keep people, entertained, to keep people interested. It's like a reality TV show. And, I know how Hollywood works and the music industry works. If Britney had a real PR team, there's no way in hell they would release half of the stuff that gets released on her Instagram. So if it's not Britney personally doing this, and it's Britney's PR team, then there has to be some type of money-making motive or something behind it, because no PR people in their right mind would ever, and no social media team or social media managers, they would never allow they wouldn't allow 99% of what Britney posts on Instagram. So the fact that all of this stuff gets posted, it's either Britney herself or her team is working against her, or they know that this is how they finesse the system. They make you worry about Britney. Maybe Britney is kind of going through some things, and they play into that because that's how they gain traction. But I don't know. All I know is we're being gaslit. She's going to put out this post making you all feel bad for questioning her. You're going to see a couple of normal posts over the next couple of days. And then bam, wham, boom, wham, bam. You're going to get hit from left field with all of this far out there stuff. Just give it about a week. Mark my words. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. And I'll talk to you all in the next video.